For those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Suni Samana. I'm one of the business directors here on the platform of our Infinite Company, and super excited to be here to share with you all this amazing opportunity. I came into our Infinite Company, you guys, I want to say a little over 2 years ago. I'm trying to figure out what looks better on my, okay, a little over 2 years ago. And, it's been an amazing journey, you guys. I came into this industry, just kind of by faith, just being obedient to God and, following his divine orders. I would love to say and be able to take all the credit, but I cannot. Originally from California, moved here to Texas in 2020, right before COVID-19. Had no idea that I would be in this industry at all. But I was in the medical field, and in the medical field, in the middle of a pandemic, it's not really a good place to be. And something told me that it was time to move on. And I credit that something to God and being obedient. God is definitely blessed me to create an opportunity that has done things for me. And I see God doing things for me that have never been done before in my life. So I'm always super excited to serve. And the reason that I believe in service is like my mentor, Jim Rohn, said. He says, service to many leads to greatness, you guys. Service to many leads to greatness. Let's talk about that real quick, because a lot of times people think of service as being charitable, right? And I get it, because we all come from places where service is charitable, right? Some of us grew up in churches, where you said service and people think free, people think charity, things of that nature. But when you cross into the threshold of business, service is something that you monetize. Okay. Service is something that you monetize. That's why they call it products and services, or goods and services, right? And to the capacity that you serve in business will be the capacity that you make income or create income. And the beautiful thing about service in the business space is that in the business space, when you serve many, you don't necessarily get paid for your time, but you get paid for your value. Okay. And it is a total difference in getting paid from your value than getting paid from your time or for your time. You guys, it is something that is absolutely phenomenal. So, service to many leads to greatness. But here's one of the spiritual values of service, right? Service is like the reciprocal principle in mathematics, right? Where in math, there's a reciprocal principle, right? Where one number adds value to another number, but the other number that added value to the other number gets bigger. So A helps B, but A grows bigger in value. A helps B, but A grows bigger in value, right? And so that's how business works, and that's how service works. And this is why I'm always excited to serve. I'm always raising my hand to be up front. I'm always saying, hey, I'll host. I'm always saying, hey, I'll do the recognition. Hey, I'll always say yes to service. One of the philosophies in the PDF that I wrote called the 10 Commandments, 10 Core Commandments in the 90-Day Business Director, it says never say no to an opportunity to serve. Okay, never say no to an opportunity to serve. When you don't say no to an opportunity to serve, you indirectly increase your value, right? Jim Rohn says it all the time. He said, hey, always do more than what you get paid for. That way the money never dictates your value, right? But isn't that different than what we were told in the W-2 space? See, in the W-2 world, we're saying, I'm not working no overtime, right? They got to pay me. I'm still on the clock, right? But, but, but that's the mindset that kept us poor. That's the mindset that kept us, from understanding what it means to truly create wealth, right? We've been told to, play for peanuts, control the immediacies of somebody cheating us out of something. Well, when you're a service oriented person, nobody can cheat you out of anything, right? You eliminate the opportunity, the possibility of being cheated because you're serving anyway, right? It's like, I'm not worried about you cheating me because I'm giving this to you anyway, right? And so service to many leads to greatness. Now, let's get into this LinkedIn call. You guys, I've been doing this call now for 2 years straight. Okay. I've been doing this call every Thursday now for 2 years straight, and I plan on doing it for the next 3 to 5 years straight, along with some of my business partners here on the team. Right. But why are we still doing this LinkedIn training? Well, as you guys can see, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people on this call. Now, I know that there's some folks on Facebook that are actually logged in and watching it from Facebook because they may be at work, things of that nature. But this is why we train this call, because this has been one of the single biggest differences in our organization, okay, in regards to its growth being nationwide. We're one of the few teams, okay, that have nationwide presence from California to New York. And we can almost single-handedly attribute that to this LinkedIn system or this business philosophy, because I don't want you guys to accredit it to LinkedIn. It's not LinkedIn that's building our business. It's the philosophies that we're bringing to LinkedIn and what we're extracting out of it. Okay. And so sometimes people think, oh, it's LinkedIn. No, it's not really LinkedIn. Okay. It's what we bring to LinkedIn and what we're extracting out of it from a standpoint of business building philosophies. All right. So, what is this call really all about? It is about systems. Okay. System is an acronym for saving yourself time, energy, and money. SYSTEM, saving yourself time, energy, and money. See, you guys, unapologetically, when I got to this industry, I did not want to trade time for money. Okay. I wanted to trade a lot less time to make a lot more money. Anybody else feel that way? Right? What if I could show you how to trade a lot less time for a lot more money? Okay. Well, this is the true nature of wealth building anyway. See, wealth doesn't want your time, wealth wants your value. Okay. Wealth doesn't want your clocking in per hour. You guys, you can't work your way to wealth. It is impossible. It's only one of you. 2 eyes, 2 hands, 2 feet, 2 ears, right? Listen, there's only one of you. But wealth is saying if you bring something valuable to the market, okay, and then you duplicate that, you go from having an 8-hour day with 2 eyes, 2 ears, one nose, and 2 ears. You now to maybe an 80-hour day because you duplicated yourself in the efforts of other people. Okay. I want you guys to write this down. This is a true thing. And people are somehow averse to it. But I promise you, until you become unaverse to these concepts, you'll never grow wealth. There's a such thing called human capital. Now, I know there's been a negative connotation added to it because people talk about the history of this country under the spectrum of human capital, and it takes on this negative connotation. But it doesn't always have to be negative connotation. So let me help you guys out a little bit. Okay. If I am the owner of Joe's Pizza Parlor, okay, and I hire you, Heather, and I hire you, Steve, and I hire you, Miss Fola, are you guys not human capital at that point? Just classified as employees, correct? Right? So why do we get all bent out of shape? We go to work every day. We even tell people, I got a good job. But then when we get into the business space and we start talking about recruiting and human beings being our biggest asset, being in the people business, not necessarily the financial, we're in the finance industry, but we're in the people business, and human capital is our greatest asset. People start to feel a little averse to it, right, Mr. Taylor? They start saying, I don't like that word. Be careful where you say human capital. And I'm like, listen, it has nothing to do with anybody's history. This is capitalism. Okay. And you could either complain about how the game is being played, or you can get in the game and influence how the game is being played. See, right? Because that's what wealthy people do. They say, hey, the problem I find is the problem I fix. See, wealthy people say, I don't like how it's going, but instead of complaining about it and throwing rocks at the institution, right, I'm going to get in and I'm going to create it in a better way, in a different way, and I'm going to bring my value, okay, to the platform. I'm going to bring my value to the platform, not my complaint. Even God himself is saying, hey, I don't want your need. I want your seed. You can go look at the dirt right now and say, God, I need an apple. But until you plant a seed, you ain't getting nothing. Right? But we got a bunch of people screaming at the dirt saying, I need an apple. I need an orange. I need a lemon. And God is saying, listen, I got plenty for you, but you're going to have to participate in your own rescue. Bring me your seed and not your need. Okay? So I digress. This is why people got to get on this call because I never know what I'm going to say. Right? I just never know. Right? The spirit just moves me and I start talking. And, before I know it, I'm on a bit of a tangent. But you guys, this is stuff that I'm so passionate about. I'm no longer in the business. The business is in me. Right? People say things like, man, do you ever run out of stuff to talk about? No, I never run out of stuff to talk about, right? Because that's what passion is about. Okay? Passion is the fountain of youth. That's the true fountain of youth. By the way, write that down. Okay? The fountain of youth. When people talk about the fountain of youth, they're talking about passion. See, if you want to find the fountain of youth, find your passion. All of a sudden, you're young again, right? You're excited again. You're energetic again. Find your passion. That's the true fountain of youth, right? And so I'm super passionate about this business, you guys, because I love helping people. I love serving at the highest level, and I love changing lives, right? And so this platform, the LinkedIn platform, is not really about LinkedIn, but it's about the philosophies that we bring to LinkedIn to extract the results that we bring out of it, right? And so it's built on systems. So what are systems? System is saving yourself time, energy, and money. One of the reasons that McDonald's, Chick-fil-A, Starbucks, you name it, all these franchises, okay, run by system, meaning, okay, I can plug a 15-year-old or a 51-year-old into the system and the system still works. The system is void of personalities. The system is void of a particular skill set. You don't have to be special at McDonald's. You just got to know where the special sauce is. Okay. You don't have to be, unique in McDonald's. You just got to know a number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. Would you like to supersize it? You can go to McDonald's. All you got to learn how to do is say, hey, welcome to McDonald's. How can I help you? And we got a business because it's that systemized. Okay. It's that systemized. Listen, you ain't got to reinvent this wheel. Just come in, put on the hat, wear the shirt, put the mic on. Are you at the drive-thru or the register? Are you on fries or are you on burgers? Okay, that's it. And it's a system. And guess what? The system works so well, Heather, that I can go to Cairo, Egypt right now, and there's a McDonald's. Oh my God. And when you walk in, okay, the Big Macs are still in the box and the fries are still on the left. Anybody ever been to a McDonald's where the fries are on the right? No. Never. Never. Fries are always on the left. So it's a drive-through window. It's not on the right, it's on the left. Every single one. From Cairo to California, it is a system. Why am I going so hard on systems? Because I want you guys to understand what builds massive businesses. Okay? I used to be, somebody asked me a long time ago, they said, hey, would you rather a 10-star, right, or a 10-star restaurant or a McDonald's franchise? And I said, I want a 10-star restaurant. They said, well, you don't understand business. And I said, what do you mean? He said, well, 10-star restaurants, they don't open up to like 1 or 2, right? Because they're 10-star restaurant. Okay, you can only hire one or two chefs, right? And depending on the day of the week, you might have a big influx of people, but on Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, right? It's not really much activity happening at a 10-star. But Friday, Saturday, Sunday, a lot of folks are coming in for their steak dinners, but you are confined to a specific demographic or a particular demographic. But if you got a McDonald's franchise, oh man, you open up at 5 a.m., you got a breakfast menu, a lunch menu, a dinner menu, and you stay open 24 hours a day. And you can duplicate that system anywhere in the world. They got McDonald's in Japan, they got McDonald's in Cairo, they got McDonald's in Ghana, they got McDonald's in all over the world. All over the world. Why? Because it's based on a system. So let's talk about systems in this business, okay? And why we leverage LinkedIn to platform a system that we call the Infinite Eight, okay? The name of the system is called Infinite Eight, all right? So what is the Infinite Eight based on? It's based on 3 principles. Now, notice that I didn't say 3 strategies, okay? Or they're based on 3 laws, excuse me. All right. 3 laws. Okay. The law of large numbers, the law of averages, and then the law of compounding. See, when your recruiting system is based on laws and not personality, see, I don't got to be tall. I don't got to be short. I don't got to be skinny. I don't got to be male. I don't got to be female. I don't got to be cute. I don't got to be ugly. Listen, I am running a business built on a system, meaning that I can completely remove me from the picture and the business is still going to run. Okay, based on these 3 laws. Now, can you break laws? Absolutely not. See, universal laws, you can't break them, but they will break you. And this is what I love about laws, right? Miss Betty, if you jump off a building right now without a parachute, the law of gravity will let you know. Okay. Yes, you have broken a law, and now I'm going to break you, right? If you don't respect the law of buoyancy and you hop in some water and you don't know how to swim, the law of buoyancy is going to let you know you don't know how to swim. Okay. You can't break these laws will break you. Right. And so when it comes to building business, you got the law of large numbers, the law of compounding numbers, and the law of averages. I'm going to share with you why these laws, if you stay true to them, if you honor them and you respect them, they will build a massive organization for you. Okay. So the first law, though, to anything in all activity is belief. Okay. Now, if I go out, Heather, and plant a tree today and I don't believe that it's going to grow, did you know that the tree can pick up the signal of my lack of belief? It can, right? We're communicating energy, right? But if I got a tree next to it and I say, oh, I love this tree. Oh my God, this is my favorite tree. This is my favorite one. And you prune it every day and you pour a lot of love into it, that tree is going to grow so big because of the energy you're putting into it, right? Did you guys know that they did a study on water, right? And they put 3 different cups of water next to one another. And then one glass of water, they said hateful and negative things to it, right? And then they froze it. And then they put another bottle of water next to it, right? And then they poured a lot of love into it, right? And then they froze it. And then there was one where they just said nothing to it and they froze it. Did you know that all of them crystallized, right, in different ways based on the things that were said to them and the energy that was poured into them? Yes, right? My mom used to have a lot of plants around her house when I was younger. And when I got a little older, I started trying to grow plants and all my plants would die. And I was wondering, like, Mom, what are you doing? She said, well, did you water them? I said, yes. Well, did you put them in near the window to get the sunlight? Yes. She said, do you talk to them? No, I don't talk to them. Well, I talk to mine. Oh, 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 I get it now. They're receiving energy. Your business and your intentions, what I'm trying to tell you guys, okay? If you inspect what you expect. So if you come into this space, right, and you're saying, hey, I'm going to do my Infinite 8 and I'm going to grow my business, the energy that you pour into it matters. You hear that word? Matters. What does that sound like? Matter. What you pour into it matters. What you pour into it becomes matter. Yeah. Yeah. Right? See, you're not going to get this stuff nowhere else. So here's the thing. Infinite 8. What is it? Okay. Let's open up LinkedIn really quickly. Okay. And I'm going to share my screen. And let's talk about the Infinite 8 system and how to really build or explode a big business. How many of you guys came here to launch a really big business in our Infinite company? How many of you guys no longer want to trade time for money? How many of you guys 5 years from now, 10 years from now want to be able to like put a little less into the business, but still make a tremendous amount of income? Absolutely, right? So let's talk about it. What is the Infinite 8 system? Okay, the Infinite 8 system is where we send 8 invitations per day to our agency. Okay, 8 a day. Now, here's the law of large numbers and how it works. 8 a day equals 56 a week. That's 2,912 a year. All right, 2,912 invitations a year. That alone should let you know that you cannot lose. All right. If I shoot a basketball at a hoop 2,912 times, okay, there's a great chance that I'm going to make a few shots. How many people does it take to absolutely explode your business? Just one. Write that down. Okay. See, one of the reasons that people give up on this system sometimes, I think prematurely, is because they think it's going to just like bring on hundreds of people every month. And it can, but it won't be through you. And this is where the law of compounding numbers is going to come into play. And I'm going to share that with you. Right. But what you're looking for is a few good men and women. Okay. I'm just looking for a few good men and women. Now, law of large numbers says, okay, if you give me 10 shots, okay, at the free throw line, Mr. Taylor, okay, and I make 1 out of 10, now a ratio appears. My ratio is 1 out of 10. But how do I increase that ratio if I don't have more opportunities? So this is where I give myself more opportunities. This is where the law of large numbers comes into play. The more opportunities I have, the more I have a chance, the more I increase my chances to increase my ratio. So you give me 10 shots, 1 out of 10. You give me 10 shots, 1 out of 10. Give me 10 shots, all of a sudden, 2 out of 10. My average increased based on the law of large numbers. Okay? Now, the law of large numbers increases the law of averages. This is why it's 8 a day, not 8 every other day, not 8 only 5 days a week. It's 8 per day. All right. So now this is where the law of compounding numbers comes into play. The law of compounding numbers says, okay, Heather, you invite Suni Samad to your business or to your agency. What are you going to teach Suni Samad how to do? You're going to teach Suni Samad the Infinite 8 system. Now, all of a sudden, instead of 8 a day, okay, 8 invitations a day going into your agency, you got 16 invitations a day going to your agency. Then Suni Samad recruits somebody. Now you got 3 people, 4 people, 5 people doing 8 a day. If I got 5 people doing 8 a day, that's 40 invitations a day into my agency. That's something like 280 a week. That's the law of compounding numbers. Okay. So this system is built on those 3 laws: the law of large numbers, the law of averages or ratios, and the law of compounding numbers. Put a 1 in the chat if this is making sense to you guys so far. All right. Now, so how does it work? Okay, let's talk about the actual Infinite 8 system. So everybody who has LinkedIn, okay, if you don't have LinkedIn yet, get LinkedIn. Why LinkedIn? Let's talk about that real quick. LinkedIn, because it's free. Number 1, and free duplicates. See, if I were to have a ton of success on the platform of our Infinite company, but it wasn't based on a the ability to duplicate a system, but because I was talented, or maybe I had a lot of resources and I could afford to go on these, extravagant campaigns, and I brought you in and you didn't have my resources, then the message that I'm sending to you directly and indirectly is you have to be me to have my success. And if you're not me, you won't have my success. Is that a good message to send a new person? No. So we want to make sure that all systems are designed for the growth of the new person's business. All systems cater to the success of the new person. All systems cater to the success of the new person. If they don't cater to the success of the new person, we don't evolve and we kill our business. Okay. So the Infinite 8 system, okay, is very simple. So once per week, okay, I'm going to go here and you guys can see my screen, right? Somebody say yes. I can't see you guys anymore. I'm sharing my screen, but somebody just say yes, you can see my screen and I shall proceed. Anybody, just
Yes.
tell
Yes.
me. Yes. Awesome. Okay, cool. So here it is. Now, there are two feeds on a LinkedIn page. There's the home feed. The home feed looks like anybody else's social media platform, right? It looks like Facebook or it looks like what you would see on Instagram. We're not interested, though, in the home feed. We're interested in the feed that falls under something called My Network. All right. The feed that you're going to find under My Network is built for you to grow your network. And this is another reason why we chose this platform to leverage this system. All right, so let's look at it. Once a week, typically when I host this call, okay, I go on my LinkedIn page and I add something called connections. Now, my connections are going to be determined by, let me go back a little bit. My connections are going to be determined by the algorithms that I create. Okay. Now, I want you guys to understand that we create these algorithms. These algorithms aren't just, happening. So you create your algorithms based on one, what's in your profile, and two, what you post. Okay. So the algorithms are predicated on your profile and what you post. So if you go into my profile, if I click my name here, and you go under my profile, if it pops up for me, there it is. Okay. You're going to see that it's very simple. All right. So my background, I have Our Infinite Company listed here. Okay. And then I've got Dallas College. Okay. That's it. Very simple. I don't put my tenure as a health, somebody who worked in the health space. If you worked at, a bar when you were in college, things of that nature, you may not want to put those things here because the algorithms are going to then bring those kind of people to your network. Does that make sense? And we're looking for a specific type of person. That's somebody who's more prone to be a part of this field. Does that make sense to you guys? So here we go. Let's talk about it. Now, let's go back to my network. Because of the things that I post and because of the things that are in my profile, okay, when I scroll down here, you're going to see that they have opportunities for us to network or connect with certain people. So right here, you'll see it titled People in the Insurance Carriers Industry. If I scroll down here, okay, this is just somebody who I recently followed. They're giving me access to their connections. That's awesome. Okay. People you may know based on your recent activity. All right. Well, I just posted my 6-figure ring, things of that nature. I always post information about our industry. So based on those posts, okay, you see financial professional, insurance agent, life and health agent. Okay. In my mind, these people belong in my agency. They just have not talked to me yet. I believe that everybody should be a part of OIC. I believe that we've got the best IMO on the face of the earth. I just need to talk to these people about it so that they can join. All right. You can keep going down. People you may know with similar roles. All right. Again, agency, life insurance agent, uh, insurance agent, right? So on and so forth, right? So, what I'm going to do every week, and let me go back so I can share my sound with you guys so that you guys can hear and experience this phonetically. All right. One of my favorite things to do is to, I love hearing this chime. Let me figure out how to open up my audio without not sharing. All right. Let me stop sharing and then I'm going to reshare because I want you guys to hear what it sounds like. Also share system audio. There we go. So
Hey, brother, your your microphone is muted when you share your system audio.
all right, can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, cool. Here we go. Thank you, sir. All right, so I'm going to choose one of these categories real quick, okay? And then I am going to open it up and go to show all, right? So people you may know based on recent activity, I'll go there, okay? And I'm going to show all. And when I go to show all, it's going to give me the opportunity to make new connections, okay? And every week, I just open this up and I connect with a new 50 or more people. Now, LinkedIn does have a limit of how many new people you can connect with, right? Because just like any other platform, they want to monetize their platform too, right? But at the same time, okay, if I can do 50 a week, 50 or more a week, all right, that's pretty good. It's about 200 new connections a month, all right, for absolutely free. I don't have to leave my home to do this if I didn't want to, right? I don't have to go down to the local Starbucks if I didn't want to, right? At the tip of my fingers, at the click of my mouse, I am making connections with people that I would not have otherwise made connections with if I didn't have LinkedIn. Okay. Mr. Taylor, do you guys hear the chime that's happening?
We
No,
hear it. Yeah,
No?
I hear it.
Okay. You can hear it? Okay. All right. Good stuff.
I'm not, but
Yes.
I hear it every day.
Right?
It's a
Yeah,
beautiful
I love
it's a
it.
beautiful tone.
Yeah, yeah. I love this sound, right? Just connecting with people, so this is how simple this system is, you guys. All right. So we're gonna start with connecting with new people. All right. So we start there. And once we've connected with so many folks, all right, where we're gonna go to find those connections. Let me get back to my network here. And where you're going to go to find those connections is under my network. You're going to go over here to your left and you're going to see something that says connections. All right. This is connections. So I'm going to open this up. And what's beautiful about it is LinkedIn has the message icon right there ready for me to send them a message. Okay. And so we send 8 messages per day. So I've got 1,000 or so connections. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the last person I sent a message to, which was Lachey Dunstan. All right. And then I'm going to copy this message, you guys. How many of you guys can copy and paste, right? If you can copy and paste, you can do the system. Right? And if you don't have this templated message, put your email in the chat and I will make sure we send you the templated message. All right. So what does it say? It says, hi, Lachey. I have a unique opportunity in the life insurance space, helping teachers with retirement options. All right. Now I'm going to stop right there. Why are we leveraging ERG? Because we understand that a lot of people are looking for a niche market. Okay. It's one of the things that makes us different. If I have a license and I'm buying leads, if I have a license and I'm at a company that doesn't have a niche market, this is very attractive. Okay. Next thing I say is no lead buying, no cold calling. Wow. Okay. So we don't have to buy any leads or make any cold calls. Awesome. All right. We set up district approved events, virtual 403B and annuity appointments with public school employees. These appointments also lead to an increased amount of sales in cash value life insurance. Isn't that what most people want to sell? Okay. People are tired of the final expense game. Or they want to diversify, but they just don't have a platform that's savvy enough to make that a constant thing. But we have that here. So these appointments also lead to an increased amount of sales in cash value life insurance. We simply educate teachers on their pensions and assist them with their retirement needs. Let's chat. I'd love to go over the details. Okay. So I'm going to take this message, Miss Heather. Okay. I'm going to copy it. Lachey's the last person I sent the message to. I'm going to go back over here into my connections. All right. And I'm going to send my 8 messages per day. All right. Or my 8 for today. So I'm going to go here to connections and I'm going to scroll down. Now, some of you guys may not like scrolling. Okay. But I don't mind scrolling. Okay. So I'm going to go down to where I find Miss Lachey. Okay. I know some of you guys are above scrolling. It's okay. You know what I mean? This is probably one of the easiest things that I've ever done in my life. All right. However, it's just amazing to me, what people consider hard or difficult. Right. And so here we go. I think I may have passed her up already because I'm seeing some familiar faces. Let me see. Have I sent this person a message yet? And my Wi-Fi is acting kind of whack today. Oh no. So we still got a ways to go, right? Because that person has not received a message from me yet. All right. And so why am I scrolling down though to Lachey? Because I don't want to miss anybody. Okay. So as I add new connections, right, I'm only doing 8 a day. I'm adding more people than I'm sending messages out to. Does that make sense? I don't want to run out of inventory. Okay. So I'm scrolling down to Lachey so that as I move up, right, I don't miss one person. All right. So I'm going to show you guys how simple this is. Okay. And I won't do all 8 of them, but I just want to show you guys the real fundamental basics. I actually do this every day from my phone. I don't even do it from a computer. I do it from my phone. I copy and paste the message from my phone. It's one of the first things that I do in the morning. So there's Lachey. All right. So who's next? Brennan. Okay. He's with Colonial.
You're coming back?
Hello.
Yeah. Do you have your key?
So here we go. So I'm going to open this up. And this is Brandon from Colonial Life. And I'm going to send Brandon this message. It opened up twice. All right. Simple. Paste. I'm going to change the name from Lachey to Brandon. All right. Hi, Brandon. Okay. He gets that message. I'm going to send it. Done. All right. And then I'm going to go to the next person. Right. This young lady, she's a scrum master. All right. I'm going to send her this message. Same thing. And you guys, all we do is do this 8 times per day without fail. Okay. Again, now based on the law of averages, the law of large numbers, and the law of compounding numbers, you cannot lose. Let's talk about some percentages. Now, anybody want to tell me what 10% of 2,912 is? It is
291.
291, right? Okay. So if I got it 10% right, Mr. Taylor, okay, just 10% of the 2,912 that I reached out to in a year, is that not a pretty sizable organization?
Absolutely.
Absolutely, right? Right. Now, what if I got it 5%? If I chop that 291 in half and I only got it 5% right, that's still about 145 people on my team.
Yep.
Is that not a sizable organization?
Absolutely.
Absolutely, right? And here's the cool thing about it, you guys, is that this thing grows nationwide. All right? Nationwide. So if you guys want to get your business out of your backyard, see, most people trying to bring their business to their backyard. I'm trying to get my business out of my backyard. Okay? Right? I don't want my business in my backyard. I want a big organization all over the country. Okay? Somebody says, well, what happens when recruit somebody and they're in a state where you don't have a license? Well, you just get a license in that state. Okay. It's that simple. I brought on several people who, were in states that I would have never thought I would get a license. I got a license in New Mexico simply because somebody on my team joined from New Mexico. Right. Got a license in Louisiana simply because I got some people on my team in Louisiana. I got a license in Florida, right? So on and so forth. Okay. So you do this 8 times per day. Now, before I move on to the other portion of the call, which is going to be how we contact these people. Okay. So we've got the 8-a-day system in place, right? We send out our 8 invites. But now, okay, hey, I got Todd wants to meet at 2:00 on Tuesday. He's from LinkedIn. What do I say to Todd, right? What do I say? Okay. What you want to do, which is the other part of our system, is a 3-way call. Again, all systems, you guys, are designed to cater to the success of the new person. Okay. So that's why we do a 3-way call. We do a 3-way call not because we want to popularize our BDs and uplines. No, we want to give that new person the best chance ever at having success right away. Right away. Okay. We don't want them to wait 6 months and say, hey, I've taken all the NLG back office courses and I feel a little more confident now. You don't need confidence and you don't need knowledge because you have a third-party system. So I want you guys to write down third party. Third party, third party, third party. We have a third party system that is going to allow any new person to have success immediately on our platform. Right? See, it's amazing when you have a system that can take someone who doesn't even have a license and they can start recruiting new agents right away. Right? See, some of you guys wait for your new agent to get a license to bring them to this course. You say, well, I don't want to bring them here yet because they're not even licensed yet. You're missing it.
Mm-mm.
You're missing it. You're missing it. Either you're missing it or you just don't really want success, right? Because I would bring anybody here brand new. See, this is one of the easiest spaces to bring somebody to start launching their business, unlicensed or anything else, because it does not require for me to know product knowledge, okay, or client knowledge to start building and recruiting. All it takes is a little bit of belief in the system. Okay. And so how does that work? What does that look like? Okay. Write down third party 3-way calls. Okay, so let's talk about what a three-way call looks like and how it should feel, what it looks like. Okay, what is the key ingredients in a three-way call? It is edification. Okay, edification, you guys, is the secret sauce to a great three-way call. Edification. My goal is to make my third party expert sound like they walk on water and glow in the dark. Okay, that is my objective. I want to make, if I got somebody on the line with Mary Grace and Nasco, by the time they start talking to Mary Grace and Nasco, they're going to think that she is the queen of everything in OIC. Okay. Three-way calls. And to the capacity that you edify your leaders will be the capacity that people edify you. See, if you're very reserved in your edification and you got some ego problem where you just don't like talking, speaking well about other people and giving them praise, then people are going to do that to you, right? They'll be like, this is Suni Samad. He's my upline. Mr. Samad, are you there? Right? You don't get in this business what you want. You get in this business who you are. Okay? So here we go. Todd from LinkedIn wants to meet on 2 o'clock on Tuesday. So I call Todd up. I say, hey, Todd, is now still a good time? Okay. Now, mind you, I've already gotten my third-party expert ready for this appointment. Okay. I don't want to call my third-party expert out of the blue, right? Because if I call him out of the blue and he doesn't answer, then I'm kind of left on the hook with Todd. So I've already called a few people to figure out if somebody's going to be available at 2 o'clock. Somebody says yes. I say, great, cool. Let's book it. 2 o'clock it is. All right. So I called Todd from LinkedIn, 2 o'clock on Tuesday. Hey, Todd, is now still a good time? Todd says, yes, now still a good time. Perfect. Okay. Todd, real quick. Why Todd, real quick? Well, because people have a built-in psychology that guards their time. All right. So if I can do anything for you at a cost of less time, aren't you more prone to give me some time? Yes. Right. Because time is valuable. People don't want to just give it away. People don't want to spend it recklessly. Right. Time is currency. Right. So, hey, Todd, real quick. Okay. I've had the pleasure to work with a gentleman by the name of Stephen Taylor. This gentleman is absolutely phenomenal. He's leading the national expansion of our company. He's really down to earth. He really loves helping people. Todd, what I want to do is introduce him to you real quick. I want to get Mr. Taylor on the line so that he can have the opportunity to share with you what he shared with me when I first took a look at this opportunity. Okay? Hold the line. Okay? Now, edification default. Building the national expansion of our company, really down to earth, really loves helping people. Doesn't matter how you say it. Really loves helping people, really down to earth, leading the national expansion of our company. There's no particular order on how you are going to say it. Now, that's the default setting. Once you start doing three ways all the time, you'll kind of put your own sauce on it, right? But this is the default setting of building the national expansion of our company, really down to earth, really loves helping people. Okay. Now, notice that I'm saying Mr. Taylor. I'm not saying Steve or Steven, my buddy Steve, and all that stuff. I don't care to impress my client or my future prospect with how cool I am with Steve. That's not what this is about right now, right? This is about edifying and building a platform of respect. I need this new prospect to hang on to everything that Mr. Taylor says. So I have to edify him as Mr. Taylor, not Steve, my buddy. Okay? I want to introduce you to Heather Herrera, right? Not Heather or my girl Heather, right? I want to introduce you to Miss Herrera. Okay? Edify, edify, edify. I still do three-way calls where people edify the wrong person, by the way. They get me on the line and they say, hey, Mr. Samad, are you there? And I say, yes. And they say, Mr. Samad, this is the gentleman that I was telling you so much about from LinkedIn. And I'm like, hey, you're edifying the wrong person. You're supposed to be telling them about me. You're not supposed to be telling me about them. I'm the one with the opportunity here. Right? So you got to make sure you're edifying the right person. Okay, so don't make that mistake. Edify the leader, not the prospect. Edify the leader, not the prospect. Don't let a prospect intimidate you into edifying them over your leader. People come into our hemisphere of opportunity with a lot of complexity, a lot of sophistication. They got a lot of designations after their names on LinkedIn, and they built themselves up to look really important for you to get on the line and find out they've been unemployed for 6 months. And they don't know what to do, right? So don't fall for, the idea that they're super sophisticated and important because they got all these designations behind their name. No. They're on LinkedIn answering your message for a reason, right? They're looking for an opportunity, right? So, hey, Todd, okay, this still a good time? Awesome. Okay, real quick, Todd, I want to introduce you to a gentleman that I had the pleasure to work with. His name is Mr. Stephen Taylor. This gentleman is really down to earth, super easy to talk to, loves helping people. He's leading the national expansion of our company. I just want to give him an opportunity, Todd, real quick, to kind of share with you what he shared with me when I first took a look at this opportunity. Hold the line, okay? And I'm going to just click over. I'm not going to wait for Todd to say, okay, it's okay. You can click over. No, we're not waiting for Todd. Todd's waiting on us. We're leading the call. We don't need his permission. Okay, Todd, hold on real quick. Okay? It's not rude to tell people to hold on. Okay? It's just you taking control. Todd says, sure. All right. I click over. I say, hey, Mr. Taylor, I got Todd on from LinkedIn. All right. Mr. Taylor says, hey, I'm ready to roll. I click Todd and Stephen Taylor back in. I say, hey, Todd, are you still there? Yes, I'm here. Mr. Taylor, are you there? See, it's still Mr. Taylor. Are you there? Yes, I'm here. Awesome. Mr. Taylor, okay, this is Todd from LinkedIn. Todd, this is Mr. Stephen Taylor, the gentleman that I was telling you all about. Again, it's an honor to just have a minute of his time on the line. Mr. Taylor, go ahead and Mr. Todd, this is Mr. Taylor. Mr. Taylor, this is Todd. Bit of a tongue twister because it's a lot of T's. However, okay, but I formally introduced them. What is Mr. Taylor's job after that? His job after that is to return the edification back to me. Okay, so I want you guys to look at this as a building bridge. Okay, I built the stage for Mr. Taylor to speak from the podium. I've amplified his voice. What he's going to do is return the edification to me and invite me up on the stage with him and share the mic. Okay, he's going to say, you know what, Todd, this gentleman, Mr. Samad, he's so humble. He probably didn't mention to you that he's doing some phenomenal things on our platform. And I'm just honored, okay, Todd, to be on the line with anybody that he introduces us to. Okay. Now Todd has a level of respect for both of us. But if I said those things about myself, I'm bragging. But because Mr. Taylor said them, it's edification. Okay? I can't say I'm an executive business director on a platform and, I've been here in a short period of time. I did all this stuff and I'm bragging. But if I get them on a line with somebody else and they say those things about me, now it's taken well. Okay? So Mr. Taylor is going to give him a bit of a background of our company, his story, Okay, so he may say some things like, hey, Todd, I've been with the company for a little while. It's been one of the greatest journeys, so far. I'm helping a lot of people. I'm looking to build a national organization. We got a lot of things on our platform here. We're helping a lot of people. Todd, what we really love to do is get you over to a formal presentation. All right. That way you can kind of see it for yourself, put your own two eyes on it, all right, and make an informed decision as to whether or not what we're doing is a good fit for you. Does that sound fair? Todd's like, yes, that sounds absolutely phenomenal. Mr. Taylor's going to say, great. Mr. Samad is going to give you the Zoom link so that you can hop on that call. I'll be on that call along with Mr. Samad. We look forward to putting a face with the name. You're going to be Mr. Samad's personal guest. All right. Boom. Great. Awesome. Hey, Mr. Samad, always a pleasure. He exits the call. I'm now on the call with my prospect. I say, hey, so the presentation is on Thursday night or Saturday. Which one works best for you? They say Saturday. We say, perfect. We send them the link to the presentation, and boom, we got another person at the presentation potentially looking at this opportunity. Okay, so we go from low exposure to high exposure. That's the science behind this formula. Low exposure is I met you on LinkedIn, all right? Low exposure. High exposure is that I got you into a conversation, okay? And then I'm going to get you into a presentation. So a three-way call is just a formal introduction to a formal presentation, okay? A three-way call is just a formal introduction to a formal presentation, okay? It's actually, I'm sorry, it's a formal introduction and a formal invitation to a formal presentation. Okay. I left one out. All right. And then Miss Marlena has taken the liberty of creating a script, three-way call script for us, right? So if you put your email in the chat, I see your email already in the chat, Miss Heather, right? So I'm going to send you the script, the LinkedIn script. And if you want the three-way call script that I just kind of went over, I'll send that to you as well. Okay. So you guys, the hour is up, but I really hope that this was valuable to you guys. I will be here again next week. So here's the thing, you guys, a part of building this business is, and I want you guys to lock this in. If I'm building a business and I show up on the call alone or the presentation alone, I'm not really building. You got to push every single day to get your people in front of the information, right? Push every day to get your people on the call, on the presentation, so on and so forth, right? And so when we have new people join, we should have new people on the presentation, right? And so next week, let's get those new folks in front of this information so that we can get them building their business. Any comments or questions before we wrap this up?
Hey, brother Samad.
Yes, sir.
I always tell people that I'm a product of it. I mean, there's no way around it. The system works, and every person I brought on board has been a product of it.
Yes,
So,
sir.
Systems work. There's no question. No question.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. And, here's the thing, you guys. One of the key ingredients, though, is belief. And we talked about that in the beginning, right? It matters. It really matters. The belief that you put into your business matters. If you believe, yes, he is ready to train. He's actually going to be training. What days are you training the LinkedIn, Mr. Taylor? Because he's already stepped up to train.
I've got to make sure. I don't remember. I think it may be coming up next week.
Okay. Yes, sir.
I got to look at that list again, but I think so.
Mr. Taylor ain't playing with this thing. Mr. Taylor about to train.
Sir.
Yeah, and he's also volunteered to do our overview on Saturday for a few weeks.
Yes,
Yeah, that's what we do. See, and that's the beauty of it. You build the platform, and then the platform builds your leaders. It's a beautiful thing, right? And
Attitude
so,
before the paycheck.
yeah, the attitude comes before the paycheck, brother, right? So, but belief matters. The belief that you bring, you couldn't tell me that this system didn't work when I first got here, right? You
Mm.
couldn't tell me it didn't work, right? One, it was all I had. I was in Texas. I didn't know anybody. It had to work for me, right? And also, right, that belief became contagious, right? That I bought in, so the team bought in. I'm telling you, everything you do, say, and even your character disposition will duplicate into your business. If you don't believe, you're duplicating disbelief into your business. People can sense and feel the doubt, the apprehension. But if you're
Yep.
sold out and you absolutely believe, you're going to duplicate a level of belief, and that belief is going to be a major factor in the results that you have. It's kind of like that plant. We got two plants. One I'm saying some negative stuff to, one I'm saying some positive stuff to. The one I'm saying positive stuff to is going to far exceed the growth of the one I'm saying negative things to, because it's all about transformation of energy. All right. So I appreciate y'all. I like the
Appreciate
shirt,
you.
Paris, Italy. Let's go. We're manifesting, right? I love it. I love it. So I'll see you guys again next week. As I always say, I'm here every week. And as I said, we'll pick up where we left off. Don't be the type of agent, okay, that's only looking for a short-sighted solution. This is a business. You gotta
Yeah.
participate. And listen, you want to know when you know you learned it or you can stop coming is when you can teach it. Let that be your measuring stick. Okay. When I can teach it, that's when I stop coming. Okay. All right, you guys. Appreciate you all. And I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.
Thank you, sir.